Hey, Joe, welcome to another episode of the Vector Accelerator Podcast. We are wearing our matching glasses today. If you're listening to this, you're missing out on two handsome mugs. But here we are talking about veteran transition. And what I thought I'd start off with is just a quick update. If you don't know this, Vector Accelerator hosts 3 times a week live meetups, virtual. So virtual live meetups, we don't want to see you in real life. We only want to see you online. And we call them Azimuth Chats. The idea of checking your azimuth, checking the vector that you're headed. We want to provide the spaces. If you're going through the program, if you already went through the course and you want to stay kind of connected and in a place where you have meaningful, honest conversations, that's what they're there for. So 3 times a week, they're on the website. You're welcome to join. If you haven't signed up for Vector, you might think, I don't know what this is all about. I don't know what these yahoos are talking about. I don't even know if this works. Come to an Azimuth Chat and just get a feel for it. Get a feel for the kind of vibe and guided conversation that we want to take you through. If you're also a leader, a veteran leader, maybe you're a part of another veteran service organization and you're curious about Vector, also you're invited to come. Joe, you're one of the main facilitators, main guides for those. How are they going? What's been going on in those Azimuth Chats?
It's hit and miss, right? So we've set up the program because a couple of the key factors for why the program works. It's not just information where we ask our veterans to kind of think and consider and write down stories, but it's this human side of the connection. Connect with people, tell your stories to somebody else. In that, we also created these Azimuth Chats so we can actually facilitate sort of outside the classroom, outside the self-reflective work on your own, come together to this one spot with other veterans and share. And we started doing this early on, and it started off great. It's kind of tapered, but I understand, people get busy. But what's really awesome is when people do show up, the conversations are exactly what you and I would expect to happen. So in this case, this last Friday, a gentleman showed up and he found himself into Vector Accelerator, not through the normal channels that I was expecting, but on the East Coast at one of the Marine Corps bases, there's a transition program for senior officers and senior enlisted that go through. So it's outside of the usual transition assistance program or TAP, what everybody knows. This is a little bit different. It's a little bit more hands-on. There's like mock interviews that take place. And it's a really well-designed program. And there's one on the West Coast as well, at least that I've attended at Camp Pendleton. So this gentleman had went through it, and there he learned about Vector Accelerator. So somehow the word is getting out, which is awesome. So he went through module 1, 2, and 3 all on his own and saw this thing called Azimuth Chat and showed up. And he's like, I'm here. So how does this work? What do I do? And got a little bit of input with, context of how he's doing, where he's at. He's got a great runway. He has about a year to go, which is awesome. Early start.
Yep.
And I asked him, what did you think? And so he walked me through module 1 and the storytelling piece. And he said it was okay, but I just kind of felt like I was just telling normal stories, just kind of going through the motions. I'm like, okay, well, let me give you some context of what these stories can do, and we'll come back to how you feel about it now. And so I walked them through sort of the scenarios that you and I go through with the Legion vets. Maybe spent about 15 minutes. I spent a good amount of time kind of giving them context of not only the storytelling piece, but the module 2 piece of the compass that we used, and then the good, better, best life scenario. And then you can see the light bulbs go off on his head. He's like, oh, I need to go back. I need to go back and tell more stories. I need to think of different stories. So I was really excited, one, to see somebody come in from a different way and not the usual means that we're familiar with, because the program is getting out there. I think that's a good thing. That's a positive thing, something to celebrate.
Yeah, for sure.
But then also I kind of realized, what are we missing maybe? Because there might be some folks that kind of just pop in or find themselves on it. And we have some videos there to guide them, but it's kind of short.
Right.
So I don't know. Something to think about. What's awesome about this, Scott, is that you and I get to play in this space of, one, we know the audience really well. We know what the audience needs. And we've served veterans in various ways, in person, on video, through self-help curriculum. But we're always adding and adjusting to meet the needs of the people we want to help. So so I know we're going to have another conversation outside of this podcast here about it. But yeah, I just wanted to get your take on that. The light bulb's going off, and that's always what we want. Now, it'll be interesting to see, when does he come back to the second Azimuth, and what is he learning from that experience? How does he feel about the experience?
Well, what strikes me is, first of all, that I think that's awesome that he's finding Vector through different ways. But second, it's a good reminder that we're not done yet with what this is. And I'll admit, sometimes I have some cockiness because we have data and this works. And however, we're not done yet. And you bring that spirit always to these conversations. The continuous improvement, that's a fancy way of saying fix it, get it better. And I think the idea that you sparked is something that we talked about a long time ago, probably years ago, which was that someone can go through this on their own and maybe miss out on some of the dynamic texture that happens in a classroom environment, where usually the light bulbs go on, not as much from you or I up in the front of the room, but when people hear each other. So it could be interesting to revisit the idea of whether it's folks at Allegiant Vets or other participants like this guy who would be willing to record themselves sharing their answer or a story that we can plug into online and say, hey, if you want to hear an example. And I think you and I talked a while ago about what if there were many examples, and you can pick on a face or a body shape or whatever that looks like you, or maybe you relate to, and say, yeah, I want to hear that person answer it. And maybe if you're like me, I'd probably be fascinated and listen to or watch all of them if there's a bunch of them. So I don't know. That could be an interesting and meaningful thing to do and offer for folks. That doesn't take a ton of money or a ton of time. We just bake it and go. Yeah,
it's interesting to see, because we even do this with Allegiant Vets. Like the last class we had almost 600 veterans on that one call, dude. It's getting big. And that group, there was about, I think Ryan counted 180 people, new people joining the program, and they're going through it. And what's neat is, dude, it's like, I remember that last class, you told a couple of stories. And as part of module 1, we don't only want just them to tell stories, but we want to pull out some amazing pieces of information about themselves from those stories. And so we practiced it with you, and we rehearsed it. And everybody that heard your story was able to kind of chime in and say, oh man, I hear Scott is amazing at this. Scott, I love how you do this. And it was a lot of love pouring in your direction, which is great. Awesome. Dude, that's also a side benefit of doing this type of work, right? It's when you tell stories in community, it's a gift. It's a gift for the person that's telling the story, because you're not expecting that. You're kind of just sharing something that it mattered to you, and you kind of have this idea of, who cares? It's my story. Like, no. Like, let's stop and address the goodness in that story. Yeah. And we heard it that day with all those vets. We could tell that light bulbs are going off. Yeah. And it was in those follow-on conversations. So we'll have them do the work, but it was in the group discussion, I think, is where real growth occurs. And there's a couple which are, which do go through this on their own and do find the ahas, because we've recorded the data to show that it works. Yeah. But it's so much better in community. And I think that's a missing piece that we really want to try to invoke. And I think we can eventually.
Yeah, I think we want to make it simple and maybe overemphasize. This is quick. It's simple. Just watch some videos, do some journaling, and there you go. And I think we can stand behind confidently that will be helpful. But as you're pointing out, the more interaction, the better. And one way we try to augment that, obviously, is offering these Azimuth Chats. And we can maybe ask some folks to share their video for the next participant. But I think the other piece of that is we need to be better at strongly guiding, directing folks as they go through this to talk out loud with people that they know, their advisors, their friends, their family, that's a part of it. That's not like an add-on if you've got some extra time and you really need help. But that is the thing. That is the program. So that's probably easily missed in its current form. So here we are. We're auditing, we're editing this whole thing, tearing it apart, hopefully improving on it. So as you're listening and you've participated in Vector, please give us your audit. Give us your, sometimes we'll say, hey, share this episode or like and review. But one thing I appreciate about the veteran community, you all are no strangers to feedback, especially when we ask for it. We want it. Is it hard? Is it hard to find out how to sign up? Is it hard to sign up? Do you not hear from us? Do the emails get lost? Have you tried to sign up for an Azimuth Chat and you couldn't make it? Does the workbook not download? Like, just let us know. We want to know so we can get better and serve more people. We have big egos, but they're not so fragile that we can't take your feedback.
One of my favorite questions to ask veterans about a class that we create or we put in front of them, it's not, hey, was this class helpful? And then nod my head up and down as I ask it. Because of course the answer is going to be like, sure, it's helpful. Like, it gave me something to do. That's not what we want.
I appreciate you coming. Thank you.
Yeah. The best question to ask a group of veterans is what sucked about that class?
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be like, okay, this is, and the reason why I say that, and I had to learn to ask that question, even though these are my people, and it's just kind of how we enjoy each other's company. It's the honestly brutal honesty sometimes. But in asking that question, you find out that they care, because they're not going to say this sucks and then just walk out of there and just kind of make you feel bad for the sake of it. Like they're like, hey, look, I'm here. You want my honest opinion? That's what I think. And I remember asking that specific question, getting some great feedback. And what we ended up doing with that, and this is not with Vector content, this is other content that we were doing inside the Honor Foundation, which is 3 months of content. It's a really lengthy program, really robust.
Right.
But man, on the other side of it came out something really amazing. And what's neat, Scott, is that even to this day, Vector Accelerator is a product from feedback from veterans.
Yeah.
Like everything we're doing is from feedback from other people that have done the work. And they said, hey, tweak this. That question worked well. Yeah. Maybe pose it this way. You're so right. It's not just you and I just kind of like, what do you think? There's a lot of minds that have been invested in this.
I remember there's a guy named Steve Viola, retired Navy guy. And he came up to me once. I used to run this exercise about your purpose and writing a purpose statement. And he whispered to me, like raised his hand really politely. I'm having everyone, there's like 30 veterans in a room, and I'm like, they're all working on this stuff. He like raised his hand. He's like, come here. He's like, hey, can I tell you something? And I was like, yeah. He goes, this is dumb. And he said so politely. And he's like,
he probably said with a smile, because
we would never use this language in the military. And I was like, okay. I'm like, okay. And he's like, we don't talk about purpose, like the big picture. We're not like in the Middle East for like the big purpose. I was like, what are you there for? He goes, the mission. We want to know, like, what's the thing we're doing? What is the hill that we're taking? What's the village that we're raiding? The bad guy we're going after? That's the mission. He's like, this is too broad. This is too abstract. And I was like, great. I never connected the dots. And I wanted to be like, hey, time out, guys, rip out this page. I didn't, but really, as soon as that class was done, it was like, rip out that page, talk to Steve Moore, and then reshape what we're doing. Yeah. And there's no shortage of feedback. I love that question. I think we should call this episode "What Sucks About Vector Accelerator." We want to hear. What do you think sucks about this? Is it our faces, our voices, is it the font we use,
the tone,
the tone? But I will say, because I've got this airtime and I'm going to edit this episode, there was a guy, and especially the first class back in the day at the Honor Foundation, I would get quite a few people standing in line wanting to tell me why this wasn't going to work. And there was one guy that was there that first night, but then he kept saying it at every class. I used to show up to 6 or 8 classes over the course of weeks.
I remember.
And he would just keep raising his hand saying stuff like, this isn't working. I don't know why we're doing this. And then at some point, like, the entire room was like, dude, we all like this now. Like, at first everyone's also on your team. Like, yeah, we're not sure. But like the 12th time. And I even went up to him on the side, like, hey, dude, I get it. Like, you don't have to do this. No one's making you do this. So Jason, I remember you, dude. You were just a bit of an a-hole. And I don't want to hear any more from you.
Yeah.
You know who you are, Jason.
I've had a couple of Jasons in my class throughout the years, and the best one, we were telling stories and everybody was like involved. There was a lot of chatter, but this guy was just arms folded, typical head tilted to the side, just not having it. And I'm like, you okay? He goes, why are we doing this? Like, we're here for jobs, bro. And I'm like, okay, bro, go get a job. Like, go get one.
Right.
There's nothing. This is voluntary. There's nothing keeping you here. Go get a job. Why are we doing this? You know, the guy ended up being the valedictorian of the class. Like,
all right.
Because
did he get a job?
Yeah, he did. All right, what was funny is that I think he was taken aback by, like, wait, what do you mean? Like, no, like listen, this is call it tough love, call it whatever you want.
Right.
We know what life is like when you don't do this work.
Yeah.
We've witnessed it. The statistics are there. The stories are there. Decades of it is there. And we have 10 years of data to show that it does work. And this is what happens.
Yeah.
We want you on this side, but I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to force you. Like, no. But you're always going to be invited, you know, and don't mess it up for everybody else. That's all I ask.
Yeah, exactly. And what we're modeling in this episode, of course, we want your feedback, but we also want to model the kind of humble posture that's helpful as you go through transition, as you put a resume in front of somebody or share maybe what you were going to write in a cover letter or an email, like that you would also, as you're going through transition, have the same willingness to say, hey, tell me where this sucks. Tell me what I could do and get better and improve. And these are probably new experiences you're having, new skills you're gaining, things that you're not totally competent in. And it can suck to get feedback and say, hey, why'd you write that? Or why does your LinkedIn profile look like that? Because you're probably trying the best you can. That's the point of community and offering an invitation to other people to say, hey, help me do this better. If you were to improve this, what would it look like? And not only is that right, because you can learn, and humble, and that's a better place to be, but you'll also you'll actually build relationships that way by asking for help. There's an old like idea of if you want to bond with your neighbor, ask for a cup of sugar. Like, you go ask for help in order to build a sense of community and connection, which is a part of what you need as you transition. So send us some messages. If you're going to blast us, don't put it on YouTube. Send us an email. Take it, meet with us on Zoom like a real man. Let us know how this thing sucks. Joe, thanks for sucking with me. I look forward to getting better together tomorrow. And
always.
We wouldn't mind your 5-star reviews. We'll take them.
Absolutely.
Until next episode. See ya.